If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. So I just got done using Anders' tactics for like 7 or 8 games. And if you guys don't know who Anders is, he just won the FC Pro Open. Been like pretty much #1 player in the world for like 3 or 4 years now. But why I wanted to try this was because he doesn't actually rock the most quote-unquote meta formation. Right now, the meta is 2 CDMs. Right, you guys know the 4-2-1-3 has been all the rage. It's been basically defend with 6, 2 CDMs and a back 4, and then attack with 4. Right, that's really been the most meta. But Anders doesn't, he runs a 4-4-2. Right, and I wanted to see how good this was and talk about what he used, why he used it, and make kind of a broader point about custom tactics in general that isn't really the sexy truth. Right, it's not really the easy answer that most people want when they want custom tactics. It's a lot more difficult to pinpoint precisely what tactics you should run, and I want to help you guys kind of like decide that today a little bit. But if you like this kind of video and like getting into the X's and O's of things like this is what I love doing. So if you guys like that too, then we can make this kind of a series of many custom tactics out there. But okay, if you want to pause the video right here, you guys can. The code is obviously right there. But if we go into the custom tactics here, you'll notice very quickly, right, 2 playmaking center mids and no holding DM, and you're like, okay, that's interesting, because you think post patch that might be a death sentence, right? You're like, okay, not so sure. And he also has a high line, 75 depth, along with short passing. So okay, we'll see. Not so sure yet. Actually, if we go and look really quickly at his 2 center mids, right, who are they? Are they going to be box-to-box gods where it's like you rock Hullet and Mateus in here and it's going to be a lot easier? Well, actually, because they have restrictions on what ratings they can use, he actually has Douglas Luiz and Gravenberch as his 2 center mids. So I was like, okay, they both can kind of play box-to-box, both have defensive capabilities there, but they're only on Playmaker Plus, so that's not even that important either. Really, it seems like you just need players who can move the ball quickly. Long ball plus, ping pass plus between these two. So I was like, okay, I just went and focused on passing, where Abley has Incisive and Tiki-Taka, and KDB has Incisive and Pinged, I think, right? So I was like, all right, and also Ping Pass Plus, George Best Incisive Pass Plus. So I went like full passing in this formation. Holland and Mbangula up top, and then fullback defends down there. With ball looks like this, where yeah, you're gonna see, yeah, there's not much there in terms of a holding midfielder. Like there just isn't one. So I was like, all right, I was very hesitant going into this, what this was going to look like, especially in FUT champs, where I might be playing against a god that will be rocking a 4-2-1-3 and have 2 holding midfielders that might be difficult to kind of hold my own against, right? But I learned very quickly why these are used and why playstyle and your individual way you play the game, which I think was just redundant. But anyway, the way you play on the pitch is far more important than any tactic that you can even find. And getting into gameplay now, when you think about the 4-4-2, right, and these tactics, like what is the pro of it? What's the strength of this formation? Because every formation has a strength and a weakness, obviously. The strength of the 4-4-2, especially with this tactic setup, is the press. Let's back it up 10 seconds, actually. You'll never guess what Anders' best trait is as a pro player. That's his press, right? So this formation plays right into that. We hit the post with Mbangula here, and it kind of sprays out this way. And right at this point here, I have Abley, my center mid, actually pressing this guy. And this is me doing it, of course, but if you take a look at, at this point, he doesn't got much, right? This guy's pressing super high. You could try through ball here, but like that's probably not gonna work. I've got Abley to get in the way of that. You can't really see the mini map, but there's nobody here. Like the left back for a switch is this guy, and that's what he could try and do, but he has to think extremely quickly, right? So what happens? Well, he tries to kind of cut back up field here, and we just take it away immediately, right? And then right when you win the ball back in the 4-4-2 like this, good luck stopping it, right? You have so many attackers that it's like, all right, well, rip, and then Mbangula is a little elastico. We end up switching it around, and just there's too many options there in the box. We eventually score. We're just highlighting that because that is where this formation, like that's the strength of it, right? And Anders having a high line really helps with that too. I'm just going to highlight a clip of him winning the ball back from me here. What does the formation look like? This guy, Jay Roberto, what's he going to do with him? So we make that pass there. And what does it look like? Well, we got some openings, but then look at that Mendy step in right there, because our depth at 75. Mendy came in and just stepped the fuck out of that pass, which is all AI, by the way, which is just insane to say. Pause the video right here. You're like, yeah, look at, there's no DMs for me, right? No DMs. Like that's obviously a weakness, but the back line's up so high, they offside trap so well that makes up for it a lot. And then you have a crazy press. So obviously, like this is your weakness here, but your crazy strength in this formation is when they have the ball from about this point and behind, right? Like that's where the strength comes in. And even then, they pass the ball to Mendy, and look at the CPU, just crazy. And then once you win the ball back at all here, the counterattack is nuts, right? You got so many options. Look at that. Best is immediately wide open. Can go to Holland immediately. I'm working with Mbangula. Ryan's down here. She starts making a run. She'll take the right back out of the play. Like there's just so many options. And this is just defense, right? This is just winning the ball back / defense, that this is why Anders uses this, because his strength is press, and this formation really takes advantage of his strength. And guess what? That's what you all should be doing. And the attack in this formation, you'd already assume is going to be very good, right? I mean, that's kind of obvious with this, but it's so simple. It's such easy passing, especially with a new patch. Like, passing is so much faster now that you have so many options to pass quickly to somebody that it's extremely difficult to stop, right? I mean, it's just simple X passes constantly, like little stop and goes, and just it's easy goals really in the 4-4-2, and it is like that in the 4-2-1-3 as well. And this still image right here is pretty nuts, right? You have so many players just, I mean, what do you do in this tiki-taka meta right now that it's like X, 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 X? Whoa, let's not get demonetized here. Like, how do you stop all of this? I mean, you really can't. And what also is kind of a cheat code is that, watch me lose the ball. I did too much of George Best, right? I'm gonna lose the ball right there. There's always one player at the top of this box to like mop up the loose balls, which I'm not sure if that was intentional by Anders, but if you lose the ball on the edge of the box here, you always have De Bruyne and Abley like really close to the play to like win that second ball. I don't know if that's really intentional or not, but I noticed that a lot in this formation, that we win the ball back with KDB really there, right? Because we're just right at the edge of the box constantly. Swing it around, Holland, little 4-star Elastico, and we score immediately. And another reason too why some of you will really like this formation is because there are so many players that, I think it's just voice crack, there's so many players to mark on the field that you almost feel like you can't press the ball, which happens right there. When I have the ball with Holland right here, right? He's kind of trying to mark me, but he's got to read Best. He's got to read Mbangula, like kind of read the passing one over here, but then he's not going to give me a lane. Like, there's just so much going on in this guy's head that he can't really guard at all, right? So right here, he just stops even pressing me. Like, he's not even pressing me at all because he has to worry about Best making a run and the vertical pass here. And then all of a sudden, the second he starts, the second man press is just a tiny bit too hard. You can take advantage of that immediately because KDB's here, make a quick first time pass, Abley, boom, and then we score. Actually, it's Wright, sorry, we score with her there. But right at this point here, I mean, he's not even trying. He's like, I can't guard everybody. I have to make a choice. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read the passing lane here because you have Holland. Is he gonna take on his right foot? No. I can read the finesse shot. This guy was good, by the way, so it's kind of why I'm showing you this, like his thought process. It's like, well, I don't know. I just, you know, take your best shot, but you always, if you're a player who can be decisive, has a bet, like the best option somewhere. You got to find it. And luckily we're just like, okay, he's not going to guard me. I'm just going to wait. And he tries to guard Best for a sec. Second man press a little too hard. Second man press too close to the sun. And then De Bruyne goes quickly into Wright, who gets the goal. So that's where, once again, it just feels like there's so much here that is catered towards someone like him, like his play style, right? Press really, really high. You know you'll make good decisions with the ball. If you have 6 players that can score, good luck for the defense, right? And this is now the point that really I want to make in this video, is that yes, the 4-2-1-3 right now, it's the meta. People love it. It's very good. You don't really know, for some of you, what you're missing, what you could have if you try a different formation. If you just accept taking a few L's, because you're going to take some, trying to get used to some stuff. If you can accept taking a few L's, trying to get used to something, I mean, just try things out that you think is good for your play style. Go back and watch your games, okay? If you actually care about getting better at this game, or if it's just fun for you, then ignore this. But if you care about getting better at this game, genuinely, go back, watch your games. If there's anything that you notice that you're like, hey, I'm playing really fast, or I play really slow, there's things I'm missing here, there's things I need, actually, go and change your formation based off of that, and just like attempt to master that tactic that you're using. And that really is your best, that gives you your best chance at winning the most games, is using a tactic that fits your play style that you have mastered, and not a tactic that, hey, it's pretty good, I've gotten really good with it, and like I'm winning games because of that, so I'm not going to switch. Like, if you want to actually fulfill your max potential here, you can take bits and pieces of other custom tactics and stuff like that, but what you mainly need to do is look at your gameplay and be like, this is what I do, this is what I should rock. And only formations that really just objectively suck, I mean, there's not many of them. Like 4-2-4, you're gonna obviously, I think you're probably selling out a little too much, or it'd be hard to master that one. But honestly, like any of these formations that I'm looking at, you can maybe 3-4-3 would be hard, but you can pretty much master any of them and make them your own and make them your tactic. I do believe once you find a tactic that you like, that's kind of original to you, you'll probably have more fun playing the game that way almost. So I don't know, I always wanted to hop on and talk about this because this was on my mind, and this wasn't a super deep dive into stuff, but if you want to see more of that, we can do that on the channel. Any questions you guys have, leave a comment. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Peace.